Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. My name is Spartan Elite 43, and it's time, finally, to start another new Legendary difficulty campaign. Now, I know you guys have been wondering what I was going to choose. I laid out a couple of countries that I haven't played yet, one being the Russians, one being the Chinese, and one being the Austro-Hungarians. And I chose the Russians. So this is going to be an unmodded playthrough. So this is completely vanilla. We are going to be playing as the Russian Empire starting in 1890 on Legendary difficulty. We are going to make one change to the AI though. We're going to go with random AI in this one instead of historical AI. In terms of the fleet, we are going to start with an auto-generated fleet, which I know is going to be awful, but hopefully we can recover. I've got a bit of a backstory, but let's read through what the actual Russian campaign's backstory starting in 1890 is. So, the Russian Empire enjoys a heavy industrial development fed by the endless natural resources of the vast Russian territories that expand from Eastern Europe to Eastern Asia. The Russian Empire has the potential to become the biggest naval power, but faces two main problems. The first one is that the Russian fleets in the Baltic and Black Sea can be easily cut off inside the straits and are too far away to support the Asian waters, allowing other powers such as Japan to gain superiority with less forces. The second and biggest problem is that the majority of the population dislikes the Tsarist government, so the country is constantly facing the threat of a political turmoil that may escalate even to a full rebellion. So, there you have it, folks. In terms of overall strategy, we are going to need to field multiple fleets, which is nothing new to me. You guys know, we've done this many a times. However, the vast distances between the Eastern fleets and the Western fleets are going to be very, very interesting challenges to start. Once you get rolling, I think this campaign's going to take off and snowball like pretty quickly. But before that, it's going to prove to be tough to defend all of our fleet. So welcome everybody to the new version of the new Russian campaign. So let's get this party started. You guys know the deal. It's going to be a while for this to load in as usual. Let me get a chance to say hello to everybody. We got Dewan, T2, King Juan, Tyler, Talertog, Jess, William, Jordan, Onyx, Nukta, Lances. Appreciate everybody dropping in. While everything gets started here, while we wait on the game to do its thing, I do have one more story for you guys. And that is our backstory for Admiral Spartan Elite. Admiral Spartan Elite grew up in the bustling port city of Kronstadt, near St. Petersburg. His father, a retired naval officer, and his mother, a schoolteacher, instilled in him a strong sense of duty and passion for the sea. From a young age, Spartan showed an exceptional talent for naval strategy and engineering. Often found sketching ship designs on engrossed in books about naval warfare. Spartan joined the Imperial Russian Navy Academy at the age of 16. Quickly distinguishing himself with his sharp intellect and innovative thinking. Despite his brilliance, his unconventional ideas often clashed with the more conservative views of his superiors. After graduating with honors, Spartan adopted the moniker Spartan Elite, inspired by the ancient Spartan warriors' discipline and valor, symbolizing his ambition to reform and strengthen the Russian Navy. Thank you so much, Golden Dawn, for the €5, my dude. I'll get to you right in a moment. Thank you for your first ever super chat, too. Much appreciated. Spartan Elite's early career was marked by several successful but overlooked missions in the late 1880s. He played a crucial role in modernizing the Baltic fleet, introducing new technologies and tactics that were ahead of their time. However, his lack of seniority and the entrenched bureaucracy within the Russian Navy kept him in the shadows, and he was often assigned to less prestigious ambitions. By 1890, Spartan had grown frustrated with the stagnation within the Navy. He was determined to prove himself and expand the Russian Empire's influence across the globe, inspired by the geopolitical tensions and naval arms race among the world powers. He envisioned a modernized fleet capable of projecting Russian power far beyond its borders. His ultimate goal was to secure strategic territories and establish Russia as a dominant global maritime force. During this period, the Russian Empire was facing internal strife and external pressures. The Great Game, a strategic rivalry between the British Empire and the Russian Empire for supremacy in Central Asia, was at its peak. The Russians were also eyeing expansion in the Far East, particularly in Korea and China, areas of increasing interest due to their economic potential and strategic importance. In a twist of fate, Tsar Alexander III, aware of the growing threats from rival powers and the need for naval reform, decided to give Spartan elite a chance. In a private audience, the Tsar challenged him to prove his worth by leading a series of ambitious naval campaigns. This was a make or break opportunity for Spartan. Failure would mean obscurity, but success would secure his place in history and reshape the future of the Russian Navy. Armed with the Tsar's mandate, Spartan elite began assembling a team of like-minded officers and engineers. He initiated the construction of new classes of warships, incorporating the latest advancements in naval technology. His first mission was to secure the Baltic Sea, a critical region for Russia's maritime strategy. From there, his campaigns would expand to the Mediterranean, the Far East, and beyond. As the series begins in 1890, Admiral Spartan Elite stands on the precipice of greatness. The world watches with bated breath as he embarks on his journey, facing formidable adversaries, political intrigue, and the ever-present challenges of naval warfare. His actions will not only determine his fate, but also the future of the Russian Empire on the global stage. And with that, we managed to get to the point where we're here. So starting out, we have the largest empire in the world currently. So we have a lot of good things going for us in this campaign. Golden, thank you so much, my dude. Let me get you a heart. Much love, my dude. HSF, good to see you. Not a Red Bull, good to see you. Happy B-Ball, or Happy B-Ball. Happy B-Day, Red Bull. Much appreciated. All right, so you guys got the backstory. You've got the idea of what we're going to be doing. Now, we start with a fleet that's already pre-generated. So let's check out our fleet first and foremost. Also, we should probably get our finances in order. First of all, we're going to want to increase our shipbuilding capacity, though our shipbuilding capacity is already at 13,000 tons. But we definitely want to increase that. So let's go ahead and do that first. That's going to cut into our budget quite a bit. In terms of the rest, we need to increase our transport capacity. That's going to take a lot of our money as well. And then in terms of tech, we're going to get what we can out of the tech and then leave our crew training roughly where it's at currently. From a research standpoint, I don't think I'm going to focus on anything in particular. I think I'm going to let the game kind of lead our research and just see where that goes for the Russians. In terms of the ships, we apparently have a torpedo boat class, which is the mech class torpedo boats. I'll be real honest, you guys know early on I can't stand torpedo boats, so we will likely end up getting rid of all of these. The heavy cruiser class of the Slava Rozi, or Razi, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but the Slava class, we'll call it, of heavy cruisers. These are 3,600 ton heavy cruisers with, 6.2 inch main guns? And it's an interesting looking design, I'll give them that, so be interesting to see how that plays out. And then, of course, we have our light cruisers, which are a very modern looking light cruiser in terms of, like, the time period. You got to think, this is 1890. However, I am concerned that we don't have main guns. We have one 7-inch main gun at the back of the ship. That's slightly concerning. Yeah, I think we definitely need to reform this Navy. 100%. And then, of course, our battleship design is pretty standard. It looks like very small guns, which I say very small, but they're 12-inch guns, so that's not too bad. So the battleships are probably going to be okay. But we are definitely going to have to get in and start designing ships as soon as possible. So what is our current fleet situation? Let's sort these in terms of battleships. So we have several battleships. We are currently building 3 new battleships that will be done when 12 to 13 months. That's fine. We will set these guys. These guys are, okay, so we have 2 in the Sea of Japan, 3 in the Sea of Japan, and 3 in, or 2, okay. Hold that thought. 2 in the Sea of Japan. God, I hate how everything pops up and blocks what I'm trying to see. So, three battleships in the Sea of Japan. 3 battleships in the Black Sea. 1 battleship in the Baltic Sea. So I think these guys will probably be best served in the Baltic Sea. So let's go ahead and do that. We will have you go up to... I would assume... Let's see. Where are you at in the Baltic? You're in Klaipeda. Oh, the Russians are going to have to bear with me on these names. Y'all are going to hate me. I'm sure of it. We should probably put them in... let's put them up at Finland for now. That'll get us up there. All right. The heavy cruisers. We've got several heavy cruisers here too. It looks like they are split up between the sea pretty well, and we are currently building several more heavy cruisers, which will be done in 5. I'm actually going to cancel these heavy cruisers. And then, of course, we are building another light cruiser, and I'm definitely getting rid of that. The light cruisers are going to be scrapped immediately, as with the torpedo boats. All right, so that's going to save us a little bit of money. We are currently building 3 new battleships, which will take place up in the Baltics, so we don't have to worry about that. Am I saying that wrong? Like, this is the Baltic. Yeah, this is the Baltics. I have to remember everything. I'm sorry. So, yes, putting them up in Finland, up here in the Baltics. We've got the Black Sea here, which is already got a Black Sea fleet, and then we will have our East Asia fleet. So, we are going to have at least 3 separate fleets, which, I mean, we are a massive empire, should be no problem. What up, Shamrock? How's it going? Arrow Boy, good to see you. Colin, good to see you. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. Don't forget to punch that like button. All right, so now that we've got our finances set up, we've got $10.9 million currently. We're actually going to increase our tech budget. And we're going to try to get as much tech as early as possible for the Russians. Now, in terms of research, again, I don't want to necessarily push towards anything in particular. So we're just going to let the AI decide what they're going to get done over time. The torpedo boats, we're just going to get rid of that design. The light cruiser, we're getting rid of that design. We'll keep the heavy cruiser design. We'll keep the battleship design for now, because we may need to refit these. But we are going to go ahead and come up with some new designs, because I want to be able to have a solid design relatively early. So we have the capabilities of building up to a 13,000-ton battleship. If we look at these 2 hulls that we have for a battleship, we have... The Battleship 2 hull is just better overall. But I do kind of like the idea of this old thing as well. Like, this just kind of looks cool. I like these old school, like, Ironside, like, I don't know. It's just, I like them. I don't know why. I just do. But in terms of overall effectiveness, with this much weight this high up, this is going to be a very unstable design. Plus, this is just a more stable design overall. Still not going to be able to do much with this but we'll see what we can do. So the goal is to build a 13,000-ton battleship. We are going to be using spacious crew quarters. I'm not going to worry about dropping the range just yet. In terms of speed, our maximum speed currently is 18 knots, so that's what we're going to start with. I don't know if we'll be able to continue with that, but that's what we're going to go for. Because we want the battleships to be maneuverable. We want them to be able to move relatively well. We're not going to worry about unbalancing the rudder just yet, and then we don't have much tech in terms of that. We do have compound armor, which we are going to use. And then everything else, I mean, we've got the Citadel 1. In terms of main towers, we've got, what, 5.5 versus 3. So the front tower 1 is actually the better bet. So that's what we'll go with. In terms of secondary, we have rear tower 1 and 2. So rear tower 2 is probably just going to be better across the board. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. And then, of course, we're going to need some funnels. We are not going to be able to get a full... Yeah, we can't even put that in there. Could put this in there, but that's going to be worse. So we're going to be able to get a couple of these funnels in. But this thing is not going to be very fuel efficient. Our engine efficiency is awful. But that's to be expected when you're burning coal and it's very early on. You can't put enough funnels on these early hauls to actually make yourself engine efficient or efficient. All right. So, the next thing we need to figure out, we do have some casemates, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and go for 6-inch casemates right out the gate. These are going to be a little bit heavier, but they do give us a little bit more range, a little bit more firepower, and they should be able to deal with lightly armored targets as well as the torpedo boats. So, we will deal with light cruisers pretty effectively with these guns as well as torpedo boats. All right, what caliber gun are these? I know they're 6-inch, but what is my caliber? You're not going to tell me. Okay, are you going to tell me? 40 caliber guns. Okay, I would like that to... What is our current range on these? 7.4. I want that to be more. So let's go ahead and increase the length of the barrel on these. I can't increase the length of the barrel. Never mind. We don't have the tech for that. Fair enough. All right, well, main guns. We're going to have... There's a couple of ways we could approach this. We could do just like regular center line guns, or we could do wing turrets. The other thing we need to figure out is what size guns. Now, we already have 12-inch battleships, but I'm thinking we could potentially have a secondary design where we go with a little bit more unconventional means. So let's just look. So 12-inch guns can reach out to 14 kilometers. These are all going to be Mark 1s, by the way, so there shouldn't be that much of an advantage one over the other than reload time and accuracy. The main things I want to look at is anything accuracy inside 10 kilometers. So our accuracy inside 10 kilometers is going to be 0.7 to 0.9 with the 12-inch. 0.9 to 1.1 with the 11-inch. 1.4 to 1.7... Oh, wait. I'm looking at the wrong things here. That would be 0.4 to 0.5. Because we are going to lose the ability to hit things at range as we go down. But this is going to be a 30 caliber gun, and this is a 24 caliber gun. This is a 29 caliber gun. How short of a barrel are these? I gotta see these. These gotta be some short little stubby barrels, man. Look at that thing. I mean, I like the bubble turret look, but those short stubby barrels are hilarious. I mean, they would be hilariously inaccurate and probably drive me crazy, but it is kind of funny. And I'm pretty confident we can't actually increase the length of the barrels yet. Yeah. We're going to have to do that later. Okay, so do we go with 10-inch I think 10-inch early on should be plenty of firepower against everything except maybe battleships. But we already have a 12-inch battleship ready to go. So this is going to act kind of like our heavy cruiser in a way early on. But I wonder if we can pull off, since we're going to have, like, we could totally do a twin turret here, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Oh, yeah. We could totally get away with that. Only thing is, that makes it overweight. I do like that look, though. Those bubble turrets are sexy. How can we make this work? I mean, we could just reduce the speed. That would help our engine efficiency as well. So maybe we drop from 18 knots down to 17 knots. Is that going to get us a lot? Not really. Still overweight. We didn't even put barbette armor in there, so let's do that. Let's set this thing up for standard ratio. It'll be using base HE and standard AP because that's all we've got. We've got brown powder, we've got black powder, that's all we've got. Standard shell size is fine with an enhanced reloader. That does put us over the weight limit even further. So we'll have to drop some weight. How are we going to drop some weight? Well, first of all, our guns don't need to be that well armored. So we can drop this down to maybe, I don't know, 7 inches of side armor with 2 inches of top armor and a 7-inch barbette. That saves us a little bit of weight. The 6-inch guns, we'll go with 6 inches and 2 inches. The actual armor profile of the ship. We are currently 4-weight heavy. We've snuck these in about as far as we can. I want to make this design work. So we just got to come up with 700 tons. 700 tons is all we got to get. All right, so the conning tower can be reduced quite a bit. Let's take that down to like 6 inches. That's going to save a little bit of weight. Deck armor, we don't really need a lot of deck armor early on. So maybe we do with like a 1/2 inch of deck armor. Because most of the engagements are going to come at a range that doesn't mean that we have to, or we're not going to take a lot of plunging fire early on. What up, Jay? How's it going? Appreciate you guys dropping in. Cisco as well. Reed, good to see you. Ari, good to see you. Can we make the Ganget class? It'll be a while. We have to get to a time period where our research has caught up to be able to make like the actual Dreadnoughts. Right now it is 1890, so we are kind of limited in what we're capable of building. But yeah, I would imagine at some point we will have like a Ganget class and so on and so forth. Ish. We may not call it the Ganget class, but somewhere in that neighborhood. Alright, so in terms of belt armor is where we kind of need it, but we are still 410 tons overweight, which is not ideal. Let's just get that to an even 1 inch. So that means we're going to have to drop. And again, this is kind of going to serve as a heavy cruiser role for us. So if we drop this down, it's not going to be the most armored thing in the world. But if we go to like 8 inches of main belt armor, we should be able to get a little bit more fore and aft armor. Still got a little bit of a 4-weight offset. The pitch and roll is not good on this thing. But again, there's not much I can do about that with the hull design. And we're not going to worry about putting torpedoes on this thing. So yeah, I think this is our first design. What do we call this thing? Like I said, this is more, even though it's classified as a battleship, this is going to be more fulfilling the role of sort of a heavy cruiser. It's going to be an expensive heavy cruiser, but a heavy cruiser. What up, Unknown? Mad Zach, welcome to the stream, everybody. The compound armor does increase the weight. Or it doesn't say that it increases the weight. But it gives you quite a bit of armor strength. It does increase the cost a little bit, but like if we went back, I guess it does technically. So we could save weight that way if we wanted, but getting the extra armor strength, I think, will be a good idea. That way we can use less armor overall on the ship. But yeah, what do we call this thing? The Retwiesen, the Madhouse. What up, Breston? Welcome. The Turd Burglar 1. The Retwiesen. That's the first name that we came up with, so we'll go with that. All right, save the design. So that will be 15 months to build that. What up, Bradley? Appreciate you dropping in as well. All right. The other thing, I should have just stayed in there and just designed the new heavy cruiser. Now I'm having to go in and out using the load screens. All right, so the other thing we wanted to do is look at our potential for cruisers. I know we already said that we had the, like, see, I hate this design of a heavy cruiser, so this armored cruiser that they've got based on this design could be interesting. And then this is a 3-mast armored cruiser, which is more of a light cruiser looking design. So maybe we could build, fill our gap for our light cruiser using this hull design. What do you think? I know it's technically a heavy cruiser, but we could totally turn this into sort of a light cruiser. Let's see what they've got, though. They've got the experimental 3-mast light cruiser, which is just smaller overall. What's our maximum displacement that we're allowed to get? 3,000 ton. Okay. So, the biggest advantage of this over one of these others. Now, that being said, that we do have sort of a modern-looking light cruiser hull. It's not really, now that I look at it. Got the gunboat, standard 3-mast, experimental 3-mast. The biggest advantage would be speed and hull form. So the hull form of this is 70. Max speed is 20 knots. Whereas if we go with like the 3-mast armored cruiser, max speed is 19.2. So we lose a little bit, but we also lose the hull form, which means the engine is going to be much bigger. But we can build a larger version of this. We can build up to 4,000 tons. So let's try to make this into sort of a light cruiser sort of deal. I do like this hull. I ain't gonna lie. This is the first time I've ever seen this hull. So this is kind of nice. We'll go with standard crew quarters. We'll set this thing for 19 knots. And then we'll see what we can get away with. So front tower 4 is definitely going to be the best front tower that we can get. We could put this up here at the front. Conversely, we could, I guess, have it overhang quite a bit, which is a little awkward, but it's unique. Gives us a little bit more room at the front. So we'll see what we can do with there. Rear turrets, or rear towers, sorry. We have the rear tower 2, or the rear mast 6. Looks like 3.8, 2.8, 2.5, 3, 1.5, 7 damage control though. So this is the biggest upgrade for this is going to be damage control, it looks like. So let's just throw this. Again, makes no sense having that overhang. So maybe we'll just put that there. But I kind of like the idea of having like smaller masts because we have this central mast as well. All right, so we're going to need funnels. How many funnels are we going to need on this? Holy mother of fat circles. Okay, so we need at least 3 of these. So this is going to be a triple stacker. Something like that. Looks roughly equally spaced. Boy, those are some doozies for stacks, man. What up, Dr. Van Gelder? Alright, so, in our bid to make this semi-light cruiser, even though it's technically an armored cruiser, we're actually going to keep the iron plate this time. And then let's figure out what kind of armament we're going to have for main guns. So barbettes, we can't even use barbettes this early in the campaign, which is sadness. In terms of centerline guns, we could go with 6-inch guns, which would be a perfect little light cruiser. That would put us at 152 millimeters. But I kind of like the idea of having a 7-inch light cruiser. Just due to the fact that, like, I know that that was a thing. Like, do I go with the 6 or 7-inch? I'm kind of leaning towards the 7-inch. That's a 34 caliber. This is a 36 caliber. Rate of reload time is 52 seconds. Good lord. These are twin turrets, though, so I guess that makes sense. How big are these on this hull? They're not that big. We could totally get away with having, like, wing turrets. They're heavy. All right, let's see. If we put these here, we could totally put a second set just behind them. And then do one here. And one here. Now, we are way overweight, though. I hate that these boats are here. I ain't gonna lie. Can we get rid of the boats, please? Game, delete boats. Game. You're pissing me off. Delete the boats. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get away with these. Oh, that's sadness. I don't even have secondaries on it yet. I was going to throw some secondaries in here. I don't think I can put the 5-inch secondaries, though. Oh, you totally can get 5-inch secondaries on here. Oh my god. This thing would be a monster! It also has casemates, which we can throw some 5-inch guns into the casemates as well. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get away with this. That's 1,700 tons overweight. And if we go up to this, that actually drops our weight down. Yeah, so we got 5,800 tons there. We got 5,600 tons there. So that kind of makes sense. Engine efficiency. We actually have more engine efficiency than we need. Technically. How can we make this work? We have enhanced reloading as well. That's going to make it worse. So 1,700 tons overweight. We would have no armor at all in order to try to make this work. I don't think this is going to work. That's a lot of firepower, though. We could drop the range. If we go to minimum range, it's probably terrible. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, I mean, we're 1,400 tons overweight. We're just not going to be able to do this. Alright, we got to come up with a better idea. Alright, main guns. Centerline guns. The 6-inch guns weigh 127 tons apiece. We could just do sort of a more standard centerline layout. Put that there. Ah, I can't quite get the second one there. Like, we're overweight before we even get a chance to use the freaking main guns. That is crazy. What up, German battleship? How's it going? Javelin, good to see you. Meddler, appreciate you guys dropping in. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to go for the different hull. I don't think we're gonna be able to get away with this. Delete that. We want a new design. Let's go with light cruiser. I think this is probably the only chance that we have. To be perfectly honest. And that's just because its hull form is better. Because it is a pretty modern, like, hull form for the time period. Alright. Front tower. Does not leave a whole lot of room for the, things. Alright. Funnels. If we're going to be able to do 20 knots, I'll just go ahead and set it for 20 knots. How many funnels would we need? I would need all the funnels. That's the answer. I would need all the funnels. That gets us 32.8. That's very close to getting us where we need to be. We would need 3 of those. I don't even know if I can get 3 of these in here. No. Technically, it says it can. Okay, so we can get 3 of those in. That gets us our engine efficiency. But we only have 300 tons to play with in terms of arming this thing out. Which is silly. I know we can't change any of that. We can go with compound. Saves us a little bit of weight. Put a citadel in it. Main guns. Again, we can't put a barbette on it, so... Could just throw a whole bunch of 4-inch guns on this thing. But I can only put 3-inch casemates. If we look at the 6-inch gun on this hull, I mean, it looks ridiculous. What about the 5-inch? 5-inch looks more manageable. But again, I mean, it still leads us to only getting 2. I mean, I could do the wing turrets. And that gives us a 3-gun broadside off either side. But I feel like that's a waste of weight. We put the 1 gun there. And then we go to the back. Put this gun there. That gets us a 3-gun broadside with the 5-inch guns. We're still overweight, but not nearly as bad. There's not a lot of firepower there. It's set up for maximum HE, which is fine. What if we set this to 19 knots? And then get rid of one of these funnels, making it a dual stacker instead. That should save us some weight. Still got an aft weight offset, so we can move the second engine forward. What did we use? 5-inch guns? I think it was 5-inch guns. Could totally throw a 5-inch gun in there. Hopefully it'd be able to shoot over the side. It looks like it will. It gets us an extra gun. So that gives us a 4-gun broadside, which I feel a little bit better about. Conversely, we could just move this back. Go main guns 5-inch. And then have a wing turret on either side in the middle. That's going to put us a little bit overweight, but we can deal with that. We can drop the range down. We don't need all the range in the world for the light cruisers. Cramped crew quarters is something they're just going to have to get over. I'd like to go standard, though. Okay. I think this is a pretty solid design. We still have an aft weight offset. That's the only downside. If we push this back, then we have a pretty bad aft weight offset because we have 2 turrets back here. Only 1 at the front. Pitch and roll, not great. Engine efficiency has dropped off a little bit. That saves us even more weight. So if we just go minimum range, got maximum bulkheads, standard crew quarters, and now we have 200 tons to play with some armor. Not that it really matters. Just max out the armor on this thing. Oh, apparently not. Let's max out the belt armor. And then in terms of our deck, I guess we're overweight here too. Okay, well, in that case, drop that. I'd like to get to 1/2 inch of belt, or of deck armor if I can. Okay. Turret armor can be reduced. Let's go like 4 inches there. 4 inches on the side. Still puts us a little overweight. How can we save just a teeny little bit more weight? I guess we could drop this down just a little bit further. Okay. So we got 2.4-inch main belt armor, 2.3-inch fore and aft belt, half-inch deck plating across the board. It should be okay. In theory. It's definitely a better light cruiser design than the current light cruiser that they gave us. So what do we call this thing? What up, Nikos? Appreciate you dropping in. Uncle Stir Fry, good to see you. Admika, good to see you. Increase the displacement. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice. We can go up to 3,000. And that screws everything up. All right. And that's still wants us to get a triple stacker. Maybe we can put a standard funnel in here. I can't let it hit the freaking turrets. They've got to be able to turn. So, kind of an awkward design, but it gets us where we need to be. We've got plenty of engine efficiency now. We've got plenty of tonnage to play with, too, so we should be able to max out the armor now. I lied, apparently. Good lord. Deck armor is so freaking heavy. All right, let's go to 1 inch. And then let's get us to 1 inch of superstructure armor as well, just to make sure. Okay, we still have a little over 100 tons to play with. 112 tons. All right, so it looks like that's probably about as good as we're going to get that. Fair enough. We'll put some... oh, I lied. We're not going to put any Citadel armor on there at all. Aft weight offset still slightly. Still have the guns here. Definitely can't get another gun back there. But yeah, this should be good. Now that we have some armor, I feel a little bit better about it. Put some torp tubes. Torps probably would be a good idea, to be honest. All right, what do we got in torp launchers? I mean, we only have... forward, aft, and side launchers. That does put us overweight, though. It's 15-inch torpedoes. Okay, so now I just got to get rid of a little bit more deck armor, I guess. So 1.1 inches of deck armor across the board. And a 0.1 inch inner deck. I'm sure it'll make all the difference. All right. Where is World of Warships Legends Golden American? It is usually Wednesdays, my dude. I upload a video on World of Warships Legends every single day at noon. And so if you haven't seen the latest video, highly recommend you check that out. And I usually stream it on Wednesdays. What up, Ladon? How's it going? I'm doing good, man. All right, let's name this thing. Archangel? I'm pretty sure this is how it would be spelled, right? Like, I know Archangel is spelled different for us. It'd be A-R-C-H, but I'm pretty sure the Russians would have an ARK Angel, right? Like, I'm not crazy. I've seen that somewhere. Do you see torpedo boats? That is the question. Where have I seen Archangel spelled like this then? There we go. Archangel it is. Azrael is the Angel of Death, yeah. Alright. There we go. That's our new light cruiser design. So we'll build a couple of these, even though I can envision them going up in flames, because every time I build early light cruisers, that's exactly what happens. They pop off and explode a gajillion times, sending turrets to space, left, right, and center. Alright, so we have our new Retwiesen class. Let's check out our... Okay, so we do have a little bit of shipbuilding capacity. These will be done in 8 and 9 months, so we'll have to hold out on our new battleships until those are finished. But I do want to go ahead and build a couple of these light cruisers. These are just about 3,000 tons apiece, so it means we can build almost 10 of them. So let's start out by building 6. We are going to have these 6 split between the 3 provinces, or the 3 fleets that we're looking at. So one will be going to Finland. I forget which part of Finland we went to. I think we went to Let's look real quick. Yeah, Helsingfors. Okay. And then, of course, we have these 2 that will be going to the Black Sea. So we should probably put them at Ukraine. And then these 2 will be at Vladivostok. Alright. So those will take 10 months to build. We should still have plenty of transport capacity, or shipbuilding capacity. We are losing $5 million a month right now, which is not ideal. But if we put everybody to... Okay, everybody seems to already be unlimited. Yep. Alright, how are we going to save ourselves $5 million? I mean, we could drop the crew training a little bit. There we go. Do something like that. All right, let's get this party started. Now, where should we begin our potential aggression? I figure going after a country like Austria-Hungary early could potentially be juicy for us. That would get us some territory. It eliminates a potential adversary. Allows us to expand to another position so that we don't have to worry about getting, like, completely blocked in. That seems like the most likely target to start with. Either that or we start in the east. Let's look at our competitors here. So Austro-Hungary currently has a navy of 54 ships, including 4 battleships. 147,000 tons of ships. They currently have a GDP of 27 billion. We have a GDP worse than theirs somehow because legendary difficulty. The Chinese have a GDP of 26 billion. but they have 60 ships, but no battleships. The biggest question for me would be getting my fleet over here. So if we look at Vladivostok, we currently have 2 battleships and 2 heavy cruisers over here. We have a battleship and a heavy cruiser at Korsakov. Have a heavy cruiser at Petropavlovsk. And then if we scroll to the other side of the world, we have a heavy cruiser at Providinia. Okay. If we go for, I think Austro-Hungary is probably our best bet early on, just to get rid of them as quickly as possible. They're very quick to secede because we should be able to take their territory real quick. Because this is the only territory they have, right? This is their core province. That's all they've got. They don't have any out or external ports that I'm aware of. So if we can get in here and finish them off quickly, we can easily expand our territory. So I think that's where we're going to go. It's a powerful navy. It'll be a challenge for sure. But I think we will be fine. So currently we have 3 battleships and a heavy cruiser here at Sevastopol. 2 heavy cruisers at Novorossiysk. So that's not a lot of power for us to go currently. So let's go ahead and get these guys moved over to Sevastopol real quick. Let's get them moved together. And then I want to look and see where our guys are in the north. So we have a battleship and 2 heavy cruisers there. 2 heavy cruisers there. Heavy cruiser. Heavy cruiser. Heavy cruiser. Heavy cruiser. 2 heavy cruisers. All right. See? I knew it! I knew I seen the name! Y'all said I'm crazy! Y'all said I'm crazy! I knew there was a freaking thing! Japan. Can I please name a battleship after you? Eventually. You guys got to remember, we're just getting started. It will take a while. But yes, we always try to get names for ships and stuff through you guys. But yes, I knew I'd seen that name somewhere. I didn't realize there was an extra H in there, but still. Dang it! I knew I was correct. Y'all are like, no, it's spelled this way. I'm like, yes, I know it's spelled that way normally, but I'm fairly confident the Russias... Dang it. All right, missed opportunity. Actually, it's not a missed opportunity. I'm going to change the name. I'm going to change the name. I can't change the name. It's stuck that way. Dang it. Yeah, it's a major port for the northern Russia, for sure. Murmansk as well. Anyway, let's get this party started. I know you guys are saying like go after Japan, but Japan at this point would be too strong for us. I'm pretty confident. They'd wipe the floor with us just like they did in real life. Japan is nothing to trifle at. They currently have 6 battleships, 10 heavy cruisers. I think we start in the east. Or start in the west. I think we start with getting rid of these guys quickly because it's only 3 ports that we would have to get rid of. We should have enough naval invasion power, I would think. 161,000 tons. I don't know if we do have enough naval power, to be honest, to navally invade these guys. But either way, I feel like that's our best bet early on. So let's go ahead and start looking at increasing tension with them right out the gate. Who are the people that are most irritated with us? Japan and Austro-Hungary. Shocker. That's what I'm saying. Like it's down to those 2 people usually. So Japan, Austro-Hungary. Austro-Hungary makes sense because we could easily expand into the west. That opens up more port cities for us as well to allow us to not get hemmed in into the Black Sea or the north. Because that's the biggest problem with Russia is they can easily be stopped from leaving port. Like, you could just stop them in their freaking ports because of the small straits that allow them in. It's also very easily defensible for Russia because it's such a small strait, right? So anybody that has to come in and try to invade these ports, I mean, they're going to get absolutely neutered coming through the straits. So there's that. But yeah, I think we go for Austro-Hungary right out the gate. I knew there was an Archangel with an ARK. I knew it. Y'all think I'm crazy. What up, Loops? Welcome. All right, now all of the canals start opening up. All right. In the meantime, I don't want to go to war with Japan right out the gate. So maybe we try to improve relations with Japan while we plan our attack on Austro-Hungary. Financially, we're doing okay. Just keep pumping that tech up a little bit. Building-wise, it's a few months out. We should have some new ships, so looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and take this fleet that's up here. They're currently in port. I could move them down here to start irritating the Austro-Hungary. I think the other thing would be to get our fleet together that's up here. So let's move you from Riga over to Klaipėda, whatever that's called. Try to get as many of these cruisers as we can with that battleship. We are going to be leaving our territorial waters unguarded by doing this. But we do have these guys up here to the north too. Could send one of these down as reinforcements. Let's send this guy from Murmansk over here to Kronstadt. He will be the protector for the Baltic for now. And then we'll get all these guys together at Klaipėda and send them over here to get ready. Because it'll take a few months for these guys to get around here anyway. We don't have any destroyers because I get rid of all my torpedo boats early on. There are no destroyers yet. You have to research them. Torpedo boats early on, because they don't have any torpedo range. It starts out as a base range of 0.9 kilometers. You just get absolutely shredded. So I find that torpedo boats are pretty meh early on. There's kind of a sweet spot for destroyers. It's kind of like mid-game. Like, destroyers get like good range and decent standoff capability while still not being able to be hit as easily at like midway, like mid-game. And then late game, they get shredded before they get a chance to really be useful. Early game, they get shredded before they get a chance to be useful. They're basically cannon fodder. All right, so yeah, let's just keep it going. I can't do anything with them, so let's just keep it going. They have failed. Fantastic. I guess we could just ignore Japan for now. Maybe it'll improve over time. Probably won't. Austro-Hungary, where you at? Let's get you increasing tension, please. So we're currently at a minus 41 tension with Austro-Hungary. This guy is headed to here. This guy is headed around to Kronstadt. As a matter of fact, let's actually set him for Riga. I lied. Set you to go to Riga. Okay, this guy will be here next month, and then we will move this fleet around to position to attack the Austro-Hungarians. Financially, we're barely making money, but we are making some money. Our government, our GDP is currently growing at 8.9%, which is very nice. We have a fleet of 7 battleships and 19 heavy cruisers. All right, let's keep it going. What up, Ozzy? Welcome. Gavin, good to see you. Appreciate you dropping in. Yeah, we're going to be doing the Russian campaign. This will be a while. This isn't going to be a quick campaign, especially being that it's an unmodded playthrough. All right. So these guys should be here now, so we can send them around, get them ready to go into the Adriatic. We'll put them right off the coast of Croatia. It's going to take a few months for them to get there. And then we will get the Sevastopol Black Sea Fleet to do the same. And that should start to ratchet up tensions pretty quickly with Austro-Hungary once we get those guys in position. I just hope that we have enough tonnage, because I don't think we do. Hey, that's the big early thing, so we just don't have the tonnage. But we'll try. Politics, again, we're going to try to improve relations with Japan. Actually, Japan seems to have chilled off quite a bit. So maybe we don't need to improve relations with Japan. I lied. All right. Beautiful. That'll save us a little bit of prestige. What up, Triple H? Good to see you. Arrow Boy, have a great night. Appreciate you, my dude. Yair, good to see you. Long time no see, my dude. All right. We are going to be losing some money early on. During a state dinner in Italian Empire, there was a heated discussion between our ambassador and members of the Italian Empire's government. The Prime Minister asks how we could best handle this embarrassing situation. You think that our ambassador was trying to defend our country's rights? Immediately recall the ambassador for consultation. Or apologize through diplomatic channels and provide some compensation. I'm going to stand behind our ambassador. I don't know what's going on there. The government is worried about the growing international tension. A military confrontation with the Empire of Japan becomes possible. What is your advice? We need to intimidate the Empire of Japan by significantly enhancing our military strength. Or, if you want peace, you must prepare for war. Both of those reduce our GDP, which we don't want. So, negotiate with the Empire of Japan, and if necessary, provide concessions. I don't want to do that either. This loses 2% of our GDP. This only loses 1%. None of these are good. This one costs me money, which I can't afford at the moment. If you want peace, you must prepare for war. All right, politics. Empire of Japan. Okay, that didn't really hurt our relations with them too much, so I'm not too worried about that. Continue to increase tensions with the Austro-Hungarians. Okay, so got a 3,500-ton light cruiser coming up. We've got emergency wooden plugs coming up. Enhanced turret cylinders. We've got Mark II 2-inch guns coming up. And Mark I 13-inch guns coming up. We'll see how that goes. Alright, well, keep it going. Next! Be safe on your way to work there, Arrow Boy. Empire of Japan presented us an ultimatum demanding the extradition of a defector who requests an amnesty from our country. The Minister of Justice asks for your advice about this situation. He may share valuable intel about the Empire of Japan. However, due to rising tensions between our countries, I may just give him back so that we can reduce the, or increase. We could just get money from them. That does reduce our relations with them a little bit further. I think we just return them to them. We should not risk causing more tension between our countries at this time. Seems pretty straightforward. We'll go with that. Our unrest is a little high. I ain't gonna lie. Political party that has won the majority in parliament wants to push through a bill to reduce the financing of the fleet. What is your reaction? Speak in parliament about the potential threat of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. That sounds about right. Let them know. Like, we are on the brink of war. The last thing we want to do is reduce our fleet. Sure, it's because I'm here that we're on the brink of war, but we're on the brink of war. Now, the good thing is, if we look, our Army logistics is at only 7%. Theirs is at 24%, so they actually have an advantage in Army logistics currently, which is not ideal. But if you look at the Army forces, I mean, I've got double the army they have already. So in a war of attrition, maybe we can take some of their territory by land battles. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. We can't increase tension further with them. The Japanese are okay. We'll just improve relations a little bit, or at least try. This guy's still headed over to Riga. These guys have made it to the English Channel. What up, Josh? Appreciate you dropping in. Have a good night, Nikos. Appreciate you. Yeah, Josh, I get that, man. I stream at strange hours sometimes, so yeah, sometimes YouTube doesn't, like, recommend things properly. But it's always a good thing to check in if you guys enjoy what I do. It's always a good thing to check in. You never know when I'll be streaming. I do stream a lot. And I stream a lot of different games. I think I'm going to get a drink of water real quick. Luckily, I thought ahead and I actually got my water ahead of time. I swear to God, the government is trying to get us to go to war with Japan. It's like, Japan is not our enemy at the moment. At the moment, being the key word. I could guarantee our victory over Japan, but I don't want to go to war with Japan right now. It's better to discuss how to improve relations. Let's do that. Alright, so we have our guys in position. Or we have one fleet in position. The other fleet is still coming past Spain right now. Financially, we are losing a little bit of money, but it's not that bad. It's just because we have fleets out. Let's keep trying to increase tension with the Austro-Hungarians. We did just unlock our 13-inch guns, so that's good. All right, let's keep it going. How close are we in terms of our building? So our new battleships will be here in 3 months, and our new cruisers will be here in 4 months. What up, Cody? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of my streams can be awkward because we have people that watch from all around the world, so I tend to mix up my stream times a little bit. Sometimes I stream overnight here in Ohio. Sometimes I stream in the afternoon. It can be awkward. I get it. What up, Thawed? How's it going? I hope that's close. I have no idea how to say your name otherwise. They ignored us. Well, they're not going to ignore us for much longer. But I have a second fleet roll up into their territory. So we have 37,000 tons there. We have 51,000 tons here. We don't even have enough to navally invade these guys, technically. We would have to sail our guys all the way from over here, or wait till our new battleships come online. At least we put them in the Baltics. So these guys will have to sail down on their own. I didn't think about that. Do have 2 light cruisers that'll be done the month after. So yeah, the light cruisers and battleships that are up here should be done around the same time, so we'll send them down. That should put us over the 100,000 cap, in theory. All right, well, politics. Yeah, we can't do anything. All right, keep going. I mean, I play World Warships all the time, man. I'm so used to it. I just don't even bother like getting. I get upset, but I try not to get upset anymore. Like I really do try. Like I can't control it, so what's the point of getting upset about it? You know. All right. Keep it going. Now, given the fact that we have these guys here, I probably ought to get ready to start building some battleships of our new class here at Sevastopol. If we go to ship design, we go to this class, which is our class that we designed, and we build. Let's build 3 of these. I'd like to build 4. We'll build 3 for now. It's $13 million a month we're losing. We are a little bit over our tonnage as well, but only for a couple of months. Shouldn't be a problem. But these guys will be in the Black Sea Fleet, so these guys will be at Sevastopol. All right. Increased engine. Is the Congress a new ship? I don't think so. I think it's been in the game for a while. I think the Congress, if I remember correctly, is the Tier 7 version of the Alaska. If I remember correctly. Yeah, I was going to say, it's been around for a while. It's definitely not new. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a super cruiser. Okay. 1 more month and the Veliki gets finished. Then we have 2 months for all of these light cruisers. What up, Spiro? Or Spyro? Yeah, I'm pretty confident it is like an Alaska. I think it's 305mm main guns. At a press conference, journalists ask you a question about the foreign policy of Empire of Japan's government. What is your answer? The Empire of Japan has an adventurous policy that often conflicts with our own interests. The Empire of Japan's government is reasonable, contributing to strengthening of relations between our countries. You diplomatically redirect a question to the Foreign Policy Department. I think they're reasonable. All right. So our second fleet is about to pull into the Adriatic now. So that's good. We're still trying to increase tensions with the Austro-Hungarians. We are now officially done with being over the capacity, so that's good. These finish next month. Our battleships being commissioned should be done by the time these are finished commissioning as well, and then we can send them on their way. All right. Look, I've always said I'm above average at best, but I can at least help the average player get a little bit better, you know what I mean? So that's what I try to do. I try to provide entertaining and informative content that people enjoy watching. But entertainment is my #1 priority. All right. What is their full population? Their population is 42.6 million, whereas our population is... How do we have such... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, how do we have such a small population? No, that's 94.5 million plus another 28.4 million. All right, let's move you over towards the ports. Move you up here towards Spalato. Okay, so these guys will be done next month, and so will our battleship. We're almost ready to go to war. First year has come and gone of the campaign. I'm glad you guys enjoy, man. I'm glad to help. All right, so we have officially arrived on station. We are set up and ready to go to war. The Austro-Hungarians are not going to know what hit them. We have finished the building up here, so these guys should be able to come down and assist. How long will it take for you guys to get there? It will take 6 months. 6 months for these guys to get on station. So, we might be at war for a little bit before we can start doing some naval invasions. But how big is that fleet? That is 45,000 tons. So yes, between these 3 fleets, we should have enough to start doing some naval invasions up here. And hopefully taking these guys out. Beautiful! Research, how we doing? Everything's coming along. We are losing a little bit of money, but it's not that bad. We should be able to recover from that pretty quickly. As we increase the size of our transport fleet, we will increase the amount of money that we make. What is our current GDP? Is $24 billion. So we've already increased our GDP by $5 billion. We're just getting started. You were watching a Japanese battleship stream from a year ago, and I devastated you. I said cards gave useless rewards. It's all relative. The Austro-Hungarian Empire is threatening us that they will declare war on us if we do not show a sign of reducing the tension against their country. Well, if they want war, we're going to war. And to start the war, or to start the campaign, we're going to war with Austro-Hungary in February of 1891. All right, so war it is. See, 3 heavy cruisers, 7 heavy cruisers. I would like to split one of these battleships off. Let's set the Sviatoy Nikolai over to the other fleet, please. And then, because we have 7 of these, let's send a couple of these. They had 3, we have 7, so we'll give you 1, 2. That gives us 5. That gives them 5. We're just swapping ships right now. Battleship's going to come over here. Heavy cruiser's going to go over here. That way we have roughly equivalent firepower in either fleet. Do we want to go ahead and start making sure these guys are set for invasion, though? Because we want to knock out as many transports as humanly possible. All right, well, let's keep this party rolling. It's time to go to war. Next! They are actually land invading us first. There is no chance that they can pull that off, right? All right, we have a huge naval battle about to happen. We have the Sviatoy Nikolai and the Varna with 5 heavy cruisers going up against 3 battleships, which are armed with 12-inch guns, which is terrifying. A couple of heavy cruisers, a whole bunch of light cruisers, and a single torpedo boat. So we are going to have a fight on our hands. I mean, you do get some rewards through the cards, but it's not something that I actively try to do myself. What up, Scott? Welcome. You got here just in time for the first war. All right. Let's put these guys in a fleet. Shouldn't have to worry about torpedoes. Turn that off. Speed up time. Now, the biggest problem with early on in this game is accuracy. Hitting targets is impossible. So hopefully we don't run into that issue. Our cruisers are already out of fuel. We will approach the enemy while maintaining some angle. These guys appear to be running away, shocker. But the smoke screen getting a little bit too close for my comfort. Hopefully these heavy cruisers get in line real quick. Okay, secondaries are officially in range. Very nice. Again, the biggest issue early on is just hitting targets. We've got cadets out here that have never been, like, trained. We have scored our first hit, albeit not a particularly interesting hit. One thing I should probably do is go back to the heavy cruiser and detach. Just detach everybody real quick. You guys gonna go in that direction because you're faster. Everybody else can get together. Because our heavy cruisers are out of fuel right now, they're really slow. So we're going to try to use the speed of our battleships to be able to dictate the engagement here. Hopefully. What we can do, though, is have these guys try to get ahead of the fleet. While they may not be faster than that fleet, if they can put themselves in a position to intercept, they don't have to be faster. But we are technically faster than their light cruisers, which is kind of funny. So we should be able to close the distance and take out their light cruisers pretty easily. Hopefully. Come on, boys. Okay, these guys are changing what they're doing. And our guys can't hit a thing. There we go, that was a big hit. We'll try to get the heavy cruisers in position here. Battleships are getting a little bit too close for my comfort. We did get our first kill. Try to get rid of this torpedo boat with our secondaries. He's going to be able to close the distance on us, for sure. Massive hit on the Shone. Come on, dodge that torpedo there, you Karna. Good job. Alright, let's try to get the heavy cruisers to follow up here. There, got another hit on the torpedo boat. Should be the end of the torpedo boat. Okay, down he goes. Set secondaries to target the light cruisers. Dodge the torp, boys. Good dodge. Dude just straight up ran up and shotgunned my battleship with torpedoes. We did take out another light cruiser. Why are my ships just stopped? Detach. Oh my god, we just lost a battleship already. This is horrific. Get moving, you stupid! Why are you just sitting still? Oh my god! Why? Why am I not moving? This is absurd! And down goes a heavy cruiser. Dude, I'm gonna fucking lose my goddamn mind. Why the fuck am I not moving? Oh, I hate this game. I truly do hate this game at times. I have lost my entire fucking fleet to this bullshit. I have lost my entire fucking fleet because the game just says, I don't want to move anymore. I don't want to move. I'll just stop. I don't want to fucking move. I hate this game. I hate this fucking game. Hate this fucking game, dude. Yeah, let's just pull up in the middle of the entire fucking enemy fleet and stop. Seems like a great fucking strategy. Oh my fucking god. Can confirm, having fucking fun as usual in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Dude, they gotta fix this stupid shit like this, man. There's no fucking reason that my ships should just stop in the middle of the fucking enemy. I was doing just fine. I had the advantage to be able to fucking outrange them, or out fucking speed them. And the game is just like, nope, sorry. You're gonna fucking stop right here and let them just YOLO rush you with fucking torpedoes. Seems like a great fucking strategy. Oh my god, dude. I don't know if I can continue to play this game, man. I'll be real honest. Oh my god, it's fucking infuriating. I just lost an entire fucking fleet. Because of bullshit. No other fucking explanation. It's just fucking bullshit. Because the game can't figure out how to fucking make your goddamn ships work correctly. The fucking AI seems to work just fine. So why is it my ships decide to make stupid ass fucking decisions like sitting broadside and stopping? And it's not because they're low fuel, because the battleships weren't fucking low fuel. Fucking stupid. God, that shit pisses me the fuck off. It's alright though, we'll fucking come back from this. Ain't the first time we've had to deal with the horse shit of this game. And the developer can't say that, oh, we don't want to hear about you guys complaining with the modded playthrough. This ain't modded, this is fucking vanilla. And as soon as we go back to vanilla, this shit starts fucking happening. Funny how that works. Can we shoot this motherfucker already? Can you focus the people that are trying to torpedo you for point fucking blank? Just a thought. Notice that my guys never launch torpedoes, right? They have them, but they never fucking use them. And this is why I don't put fucking torpedoes on my fucking ships. Especially early on. Because they don't fucking work. They don't ever fucking use them. And if they do use them, the enemy just magically fucking dodges them anyway. Down goes another light cruiser. At this point, we're just trying to fucking do as much damage as possible. Get rid of these little bastards. We are fucking getting absolutely shredded. Oh look, more torpedoes. Notice how my guy's not using any of his fucking torpedoes. Despite there being two fucking people here with torpedoes pointed directly at the fucking ship. Funny how that works. They never fucking use them. Unbelievable. What a fucking clusterfuck for our first battle. I was hoping that we'd get away with this fucking, like, a good start for once in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. There is no such thing as a good start in Ultimate Admiral. There's none. You just get fucked immediately. Then you gotta fucking hope to God you can stick around long enough to fucking get your tech level to a point where your fucking ships are competent. And then you gotta dodge torps the entire goddamn time. Unreal. There's a few mods. There's not a lot of mods, but there's a few mods on nexusmods.com. And then you gotta like download the mod and put it into the mod or put it into the right folder. Like, there's a chance that we could sink their battleships. Like, their battleships don't seem to be very well armored. As long as we survive, we have a chance. Let's switch targets. See if we can't. What a fucking mess, man. Right out the gate. Welcome back to vanilla fucking Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. home of your ships do whatever the fuck they want, and their ships do everything perfectly. There goes the Neptune. And once again, we just sit here. Stopped completely in the water. Not moving. I've got this guy marked as my target, but I can't shoot at him apparently. Now we started shooting at him, isn't that nice? No. Unfortunately not. That's just the way they do it. They're simulating, what they're doing is they're simulating the, like, stuff before the game begins or whatever. Now you gotta think there's what, 10 countries in the game they gotta build ships for. Oh look, more torpedoes. Yay. And confirm, having fun. Unfucking believable, dude. They sank 7 of us, we sank 8 of them. All their light cruisers and their torpedo boats sank. We damaged their battleships. All because the stupid ass fucking AI in this game can't figure out that when I want to fucking sail in a straight fucking line, I want to sail away! Why the fuck are you stopping? And then it just stays. It just stays there. It just stops and stays. Fucking stupid. Oh, we're not done yet. I'm not done with these fuckers. Pissing me the fuck off, though. Whole bunch of heavy cruisers and torpedo boats. Interesting. What up, Aiden? I just don't understand why this game, after, what, 5 years? 5 years plus of development, can't get the simplest shit right. Like, why is my ships just stop and then never restart? They just never start going. Like, I understand he dodged the 1 set of torpedoes, but then he just sat there and waited to get completely overrun by the rest of the fucking enemy. It's absurd. Turn all the dumb buttons off so that the game doesn't try to fuck me over again. Hopefully we can get over here and ruin some of these guys. And I'll feel a little bit better about things. They're the first one to land a hit. Go. Should be a dead heavy cruiser. First kill goes to us. Just try to keep that going. Worried about these little turd burglars is going to run up on me. Okay. As long as we keep our distance, we should be fine. I'm a little bit worried about the fact that we are outrunning our heavy cruisers a little bit. Doesn't show. Okay, so some of these guys are low fuel. That's why they're lagging behind. I mean, technically, we've already won this. We could just turn around. Because these guys seem to be hell-bent on running away. Not much of a one, or like, it's not really a decisive battle, but it's a battle that we've won, so if they want to run away, they can go for themselves. We'll take the victory. take that victory. What up, Tails? How's it going? David, how's it going? Start on our back foot because of this bullcrap, man. At least our new battleships are on their way, but we're not going to be able to do any land invasions. Or any naval invasions. They're trying to do a land invasion against us, but honestly, they shouldn't really have much of a chance. Our unrest is so goddamn high right now, it's stupid. Ugh, we gotta win more naval battles. Alright, next turn. See what happens. Have a good night, Javelin. Appreciate you dropping in, man. Boy, that's frustrating, man. It's always the AI that screws me over, man. It always is. It's like I try to position my ships and stuff correctly, and the game just like, nope, screw you in particular. Every time, and it's always right at the beginning of a new playthrough too. Always. Also, it seems like the AI has reverted back to doing the super stacks instead of doing like multiple different fleets. Financially, we're making money, so I ain't worried there. Could just go ahead and crank this up since we are making money. Let's crank our crew training up as well. They're not in a big hurry to get into a fight with us again. Alright, so here we go again. One battleship, several heavy cruisers, light cruisers, and torpedo boats. Again, we should have the advantage in this fight. Even though they have more numbers, like, we should be able to kill them faster than they can close the distance, but we gotta hope that our guys can actually start landing some hits. It's always the beginning of the campaign is always the worst. It always is. Because every crew that you have is terrible. AI generated ships are terrible. Enemy spotted to the southwest, apparently. We've been spotted. Again, not really shocked. All our cruisers are entering the battle with low fuel. We officially have green crew, though. Try to close the distance, get our secondaries involved. Because against these smaller targets, secondaries are going to prove to be a little bit more useful than the main guns. Let's go ahead and double back, try to match their direction of travel. heavy cruisers appear to be much faster than us, despite the fact that our battleships have roughly equivalent speed. We're going to slowly start creeping towards them. There we go, secondary score and a flood. That'll slow them down. There we go, big hits. Guy up front. Target the guy that's right here, please. You know, the lead. Torpedo detonation. Shocker. Alright, so all three of these guys have experienced some pretty significant damage at this point, so they should be slower. Our battleship takes a random torpedo detonation because reasons. Another reason I don't use torpedoes. But this is an AI-generated design, so nothing I can do about that. Guys crossing in front of each other are going to lead to getting hit more, in theory. Oh, we're taking flooding now, too. Fantastic. Okay, Leo Bin looks like he's about to go down. Full speed, please. I got another flood. Come on, guns. There we go. Finish this guy off. Then we can lead the battle, since the rest of their fleet seems to have run away. This guy started with a total speed of 18.7 knots. He's taken on flooding, so you'd think he'd be slower than us. Doesn't appear to be the case, though. Taking a little bit of damage in this fight, but nothing too crazy. Most damage we took was this battleship back here having a torpedo detonate, which is just absurd. There we go. That is the end of that light, or that heavy cruiser. Beautiful. Now, I would expect us to be able to disengage now, but we're clearly not able to for at least another 1 minute 45 seconds. Job, fellas. Took relatively minimal damage in this fight. I'm happy with that. Lost 82 crew. They lost 1,400. We gained another 15,000 victory points. That should go a long way towards reducing our unrest. What up, Torch? Good to see you again. Grim, good to see you. All right. So yeah, they're not able to push on us right now, so that's good. They're losing more men than we are. Also good. They got 29% Army logistics. We have 12%. I don't know why ours is so low and theirs is so high already. But hopefully we'll be able to take them down pretty quickly. All right, where's our fleet? Our fleet is just now coming into the Mediterranean. And these are our new batch of battleships. It's not the ones that I designed yet. We're still waiting for those. Those will be done in 8 months. Financially, we are doing okay. I do want to go ahead and try to build some more things. So we have these light cruisers. I haven't seen how effective they can be yet, so I can't really justify building more of them at this time. Although it wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's build another 6 if we can. It's going to cost us money, but we should have the fleet capacity for it. Or the build capacity for it. We're going to go ahead and send all of these guys straight to Crimea. So these guys will go to Sevastopol. Because that's where the war's at, so we need them there. It'll be 10 months before they get built, so roughly a year out. Research-wise, how are we looking? We've got engines on the way. Got a 4,500-ton heavy cruiser coming. New riveting techniques. Okay. Nose fuse HE. Let's keep it going. At least we got us a fight, man. They're winning the war right now, but we've at least started to make a dent in them. All right, we got 10 transports. Beautiful. Ought to resolve that. We sank 4 of them. All right, now they are going after us. This is the new fleet has arrived on scene. It is the Pobeda, the Apostle Peter, and the Sisoy Veliki with the Archangel and the Admiral Eastman. So we have 2 of our new light cruisers getting into the fight for the first time. Hopefully they can prove to be useful against the riffraff. Oh, don't worry. We'll bring them back. We will make Russia into an absolute powerhouse. And I don't think it'll take that long either. We're just dealing with the crappy starter ships, plus the fact that we just got screwed over in our first battle. You're going to follow these guys. These guys are going to push forward. We're already low on fuel because we just arrived on station, so that's not boding well for us. And of course, we've already... Dude, you gotta be... Can I not just have everything go fucking wrong? Is that a thing? Do we always have to have every fucking thing go perfectly for the fucking AI? We took one hit, immediately a flash fire. And they're landing every fucking shot too, because my guys can't fucking shoot. Their guys are perfect every fucking time. And once again, my ships all just come to a screeching halt because one ship gets hit. Unfucking believable, dude. Like, you cannot make up just how bad our fucking RNG has been in this beginning of this stream. Or the beginning of this war. Alright, we're gonna split off and see if we can't fucking make an impact with these guys. Double back this way, please. It's gonna take a lot of ships to sink in order for me to freaking pull this battle back after losing a battleship immediately. Alright, double back. Try to cut off these freaking torpedo boats. To get rid of these torp boats. Let's target this guy, since he's the closest and the biggest threat to my battleships currently. Again, I feel like my battleships are just sitting around, man. What are you waiting on? I need to see the little bastards. There we go. Torpedo in the water. And of course, I look away and I get fucking hit by a torpedo. I love this game. And I'm just sitting here again. Stop with the fucking bullshit! Lord have mercy, the entire fleet doesn't come to a stop because one fucking ship gets damaged. Why is that a thing? You stupid fucking AI. It's fucking absurd. Yeah, shocker, we lost our fucking light cruiser. We're about to lose another fucking battleship, too. Because he can't fucking move. Because he just sits there. For no fucking reason whatsoever. Just fucking sits there. Takes a little bit of damage and then just comes to a complete stop so everything can fuck him up. Unfucking believable, dude. This game, I am about done with this shit. Like, fuck off, man. First fucking shot out the gate, fucking Death Strikes my fucking battleship for full fucking health. The rest of my fucking fleet has fucking stupid written all over their fucking forehead. Because all they do is fucking, one person gets hit, the entire fleet comes to a fucking stop. Gets surrounded by the enemy death fleet, because the enemy is going to throw 800 fucking ships into the same goddamn fleet. Unfucking believable, dude. This is a fucking nightmare. This is the worst fucking start ever. Why does my ships just keep stopping? Please explain that, developer. I know you guys fucking see this shit. Why the fuck does my ship take a little bit of fucking damage and then just stop completely? My engines aren't knocked out according to the fucking thing. You have little icons that show when the engine's knocked out. Yet, for whatever reason, my ships just stop completely. I have to detach everybody to fucking get them to move again. It's stupid. 5 fucking years into the development, you got this shit still happening. Fuck off, man. Pissing me the fuck off with this shit. Every fucking time. Oh, of course, there's flooding. Now my ship's gonna come to a complete stop, right? Because that's what happens when the AI comes to a... Like, when you do any damage to them, they just come to a complete stop, right? My ships will. But their ships will just keep right on and fucking going, no matter how much damage you give them. Fuck off, man. Don't bother firing your guns at that fucking torpedo boat, boys. Don't want you to do that. Still can't hit a battleship broadside. Lord have mercy. This game is gonna be the death of me. Can't hit a torpedo boat with the secondaries. Can't hit the main gun, or can't land a main gun shot on the fucking battleship. But every time they fire, they're hitting me. Funny how that fucking works. Oh, and here we go. My guy's just stopping. Still can't hit. Of course, they hit us. They have the best accuracy on the planet. With their cadets. Look, every time they fire. Doesn't matter what the fucking range is or anything. Every time they fire, they're hitting us. Swing and a miss. Shocker. Oh, look, they hit us again. Oh, just over and over again. Start shooting the fucking guns at the light cruiser, maybe. Take somebody with us before this fucking battle ends. Fucking absurd, dude. Oops, swing and a miss. Can't hit a fucking light cruiser that's point fucking blank. With guns that are meant to shoot several kilometers. My God, nobody misses me. Funny how that works. Also, you notice that none of my guys launched any torpedoes other than that one cruiser. Right before he ate a torpedo and died. This guy runs in, fucking tries to torpedo us. Perfect accuracy, perfect fucking torpedo. My guy still didn't bother even trying to torpedo. Y'all wonder why I don't fucking use torpedoes, man. Okay, down goes the light cruiser. I don't have the angle to shoot at anything. We're listening too bad. Trying to turn the ship to try to get some fucking shells out, but... Torpedo boat goes down. Torpedo right up the prop shaft. That dude just torped his own guy, but somehow managed to hit me. The last stand of the Apostle Peter. And I love the fact that the guy dies right on top of me by ramming me, and I take a gajillion fucking damage from ram damage. Oh, I love this game. Love this game. Love this game. Yep, we lose another 63,000 points. Why not? Lord have mercy, this game. Dude, starting these fucking games off is always the worst. It's always the worst. The developer always likes to point out that people are overusing battleships, or they're doing one thing or another differently than the developer would like them to see. But the reason the fucking people don't use better mixed fleets compositions is simple. It's because your fucking AI sucks, okay? Every time you try to fucking use your fucking way of, like, maneuvering ships and shit, it turns into a clusterfuck. That's why everybody builds battleships. That's why you end up building fucking 30 battleships instead of fucking building compositions of fleets. That's why. Because of stupid shit like this. Every fucking time. Your entire fucking AI sucks. You can't fucking get it shit right. So why the fuck should we have to fucking sail around with anything other than battleships? That's why. That's why nobody fucking uses shit. That's why everybody focuses on battleships. It's because your fucking AI sucks ass. You end up fucking losing so much shit because your fucking bullshit can't fucking get its shit straight. That's why. Shit fucking pisses me the fuck off, man. Well, we're gonna change the way the game behaves to try to get people to stop using battleships so much. You know, fuck you. The reason the fucking battleships are being used so much is because they're the only fucking class that can take a fucking beating necessary to fucking put up any sort of fight when the AI is landing every fucking shot from any fucking distance, and no matter what they fucking shoot. And your shit can't fucking hit the broadside of a goddamn barn from the inside. And then on top of that, you add in all the little bullshit fucking mechanics that fuck you over, like the fact that the entire fleet comes to a stop because one ship got damaged. Fucking stupid, dude. God dang it. Oh my God. We are getting our ass kicked in this fucking war. This was supposed to be the easy war. All that's left is the one light cruiser. That's fun. When do the ships that I built come online? 7 months. And then probably 3 months for commissioning. Where are they going? Sevastopol. Perfect. Boy, this is infuriating, man. This is a terrible start to the campaign. Terrible start to the campaign. Unrest has become high. Wow. All right. Well, there's your Russian campaign over already, guys. It's gone. Wow, that was the quickest campaign loss I've ever had. That's exactly what happens when the entire fucking game is out to fuck you over. We get one war and it's over. Unbelievable. Yep, I think we're going to have to restart this next week. I'm done. I'm done for the day. So thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been the Russian playthrough of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Vanilla. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will